If you're into videography or photography, you've probably come across this thing called the film look. A while ago, the Dehancer team reached out to me. If you haven't heard about Dehancer, they make this film emulation plugin for video and photo, and they wanted me to try it out. So for the last month, I've been using the Dehancer plugin to color grade in DaVinci Resolve, and here is my honest thoughts about the plugin. The Dehancer plugin features a lot of different film presets, so you can start off with a film preset and then adjust the different parameters to your liking. And I think this is pretty nice because it gives you much more freedom than compared to using a LUT. What I found though is that I often skipped using a preset and then just played around until I get something that I like. But the preset is a good starting point. If you don't know what look you're going for, then you can scroll through the presets and then you probably find something that you like, and that's a good starting point. And then you can just play around with the other stuff to get a really nice solid look. There is a lot of tools and features in this plugin, and I'm not gonna go into all of them, but I'm gonna mention the ones that I found myself using the most and the ones that I like the most. So the color head I found myself using a lot because it was a pretty simple way of adding like a split tone or adding some colors into different parts of the image, like the highlights or the shadows. So I think it's a simple way of adding like a split tone or just getting the look you want in the image. The bloom effect is a really solid one. I found myself using this effect very much because it removes all this digital sharpening and just gives the image this soft look. The halation is another one that I found myself using a lot. I want it to be visible, but not that it takes over the whole image. So I want it just like around the highlights. But what I found myself doing in the halation tab is to use the custom settings. So then you can tweak everything to your liking, and then you can get it like super subtle or all over the image. I like somewhere in between. I found that the grain was a bit too much using the presets, and this is a personal preference, but I really like my grain to be like barely noticeable, like just adding a little tiny bit of texture. But with the custom settings, I found that I could tune it to my liking and really dial it down so it's like barely noticeable. And so that's what I did for most of the footage. Obviously there's a place for a lot of grain too if you really want to have this film look, like that nostalgic look, like make it look like it's shot in Super 8. You want to have a lot of grain, right? But I like it to be barely noticeable, and yeah, with the custom settings I could achieve that. Lastly, the overscan is one of my favorites. It's gonna give this film frame around your footage, and you can even choose to make it so the frame is moving, like jittering around the footage, which I think is a really nice effect. And I will probably use it a lot in my Instagram reels because you can turn it vertical too, so it's a really good tool for making the footage look old school and really like a film look, which the plugin is all about. So I've enjoyed using Dehancer Pro for DaVinci Resolve, and I think that if you're looking to add the film look to your videos, this is a really good option.